Morning, y'all. Welcome to the Urban Heat. R&B Talk on a Thursday. My name is Steve Gooseby. Rich Sports in the building. What's up, Rich?
Good morning, Steve. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How's your day so far, man?
Everything going good. The sun's out. Everything's going good today.
All right, man. We got a whole lot to talk about here on R&B Talk. We're here every Thursday live, 10:30 around this time. Coming up later on. So I don't know if matter of fact, if you're into the stock market, if you're into crypto, the S&P is launching a new crypto index. That is big. We're going to talk about that. I got Boss Lady News coming in from Inside the Ride. She's coming in at around 11 o'clock. So she's going to talk about that and what that means. And also Dwayne Omarr is coming back. He's got some projects that he's working on, and he's got some updates. So we're going to talk about that. And of course, man, folks are still buzzing about the New England Patriots, man. And I'm sure you watched the game on Sunday night.
Man, that was a great win. That was a signature win for us. And it's letting people know that we're building to come back and be a team to be reckoned with in the future. To go up to Buffalo and beat the team that's been basically owning the division the last 5 or 6 years, that shows you that this team is evolving into a nice young team that's gonna be very capable of going into other teams' stadiums and playing and winning.
That was a huge win, man. In weeks before that, of course, you know, going back to the beginning of the season with that loss to the Raiders, the lowly Raiders. A lot of talk about, you know, we don't have the talent. I heard we don't have receivers. And I've always said from day one, no, the team is talented. It's all about the coaching. It's all about the coaching. You got to get those players to play. I don't care how much talent you have. If you don't have a good coach that can coach those players up, man, it's not going to matter. And in that game, they appear to have coached them up at least.
Well, Steve, if you think about it, the Steelers game, we basically left probably 21 points on the board. The Steelers actually did nothing to stop us moving the ball up and down the field. We shot ourselves in the foot. I mean, at the goal line like 2 or 3 times with interceptions, fumbles. And you look at the last 2 weeks against Carolina and Buffalo, we just basically cleaned things up, didn't turn the ball over. I mean, there was one turnover against Buffalo.
Right.
But other than that, Steve, Drake Maye is evolving into one of the top young quarterbacks, if not one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And our defense is really a top 10 defense right now. I looked at the rankings. We're ranked in the top 10. We're only giving up 20 points a game. If you give up 20 points a game in the NFL, and your offense is scoring, can go up and down the field, you're going to be a playoff team.
They put the league on notice. I mean, everybody, even just going through my timeline, man, they're still talking about the Patriots and Drake Maye. From ESPN all the way down to just, you know, local media, man. Everybody's talking about the Patriots, and they're excited about Drake Maye. I will say this. That was a huge win. We got the Saints on Sunday.
Hopefully it's not a letdown game.
And that's what I wanted to get at, man, because you know how it is, man. You get so pumped up from the previous game. You won that game. And hopefully no heads will get big and the coaching staff can keep people.
Well, Steve, I think Mike Vrabel is the perfect guy for this team. I know, Steve, I had to talk you off the ledge last week or a couple of weeks ago.
I was one of those guys,
but
man.
I had to kind of wheel you back in and let you know Mike Vrabel is a competent head coach. He won games in Tennessee, got them in the playoffs until him and management fell out because they were trading away all the star players. Bringing in Josh McDaniels. I told you would see Drake Maye evolve as he take in Josh McDaniels' system. And right now what you're seeing is he's feeding him a little bit at a time. He's using his athletic ability and everything that comes with it. I mean, this is like for Josh McDaniels, man, this is like, oh man, this is like candy. A kid in a candy store having Drake Maye right now. You know?
Got your quarterback. Now you could do your thing. I mean, listen, man, you're right. I felt like the coaching was the issue in the Raiders loss. I felt like it was the issue in the loss to Pittsburgh. With the 6 turnovers, you can say all you want. The players got to hold on to the ball, but what are you doing in practice to make sure they do that?
That's right.
You know what I mean? To me, that's coaching.
That's
coaching.
Yeah,
because let's go back and look at Stevenson.
Yeah.
When Belichick coached, he never fumbled.
That's right.
All of a sudden, Belichick is gone, and he's fumble city now.
Fumbling the ball.
You know? So I don't know. I just look at it differently, man.
And don't forget one thing. We're looking at maybe prime Stephon Diggs the last 2 weeks, over 100 yards receiving.
Listen.
That makes a difference, Steve, when a quarterback has a guy that he can go to and he's going to produce. And it's kind of scary. Stephon Diggs and Drake Maye look like they're developing a little chemistry out there.
That was a very exciting game to watch, man. And even to go back and look at it and look at the tapes of Stephon doing his thing, man. I put this reel up on my page, and there was this kid watching the game, man. And he was like, "Listen, man, I'm scarred, man. You all had Brady for all them years, not another one, you know."
Yeah.
And he said, "Can somebody stop Cardi B's baby daddy?"
Yeah, I actually saw that. I thought that was hilarious to see people saying, "Come on, man, what are y'all doing? Y'all letting these New England Patriots." Now they got another up and coming young quarterback. It's gonna be fun the rest of the season.
It's gonna be fun, man. And when's their next big? Well, they got Buffalo again. Buffalo comes here the next time. I think that's towards the end of the season.
Actually, Steve, I'm looking at the schedule. The next 4 games is you got New Orleans, you got Tennessee, you have I believe you have Tampa Bay on that schedule.
Yeah.
You have 4 winnable games actually before you get to Tampa Bay. They could conceivably be 7-2 when they beat Tampa Bay, which is a very formidable playoff team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm already penciling in 2 wins against the Jets and another win against Miami.
Listen, oh man, this start right here. You think they could win the division?
I wouldn't go that far, Steve, but remember one thing. This is what people are not taking. The Baltimore Ravens are 1-4. The Cincinnati Bengals are struggling. So that's 2 playoff teams.
Even the Chiefs are struggling, man. They lost against the Jaguars.
But you just take Baltimore and Cincinnati. Those 2 teams are struggling. If we win these next 4 games or 3 out of 4, we actually jump ahead of those teams that are struggling, getting off the bad starts. That's 2 teams that we have a chance to replace in the playoff situation. Wow. So we're looking good. We just have to not get too above ourselves. These next 4 games are very winnable games. These next 4 teams are not playoff teams. So that makes a difference.
Wow. Yeah, so folks are still excited, man. They got the league on notice. Patriot football is back.
Yeah, it does.
And
make
it's
a
about
difference.
time. I didn't think it would be this soon, but even watching Drake last year, under Gerard Mayer, who I still say was set up from the beginning.
Yeah,
the plan was to never keep him. It was just to fill a void until then. Yeah, you know. And I think he even knows that by now. You know, looking back at things, you know.
Yeah, Gerard Mayer. Yeah, he didn't have much of a chance to win here, but you know what? I gotta respect Bob Kraft. He had to reset this thing.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's been a winner, and New England fans in all our sports, we expect winners. We're a very hard fan base, you know, and we expect winners. And Bob Kraft wants to win. You don't win for 20, 25 years, and all of a sudden you want your team to be at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, you know, especially here in Boston, man, in Massachusetts area, man. We're used to winning, man. We got the Red Sox, the Celtics, even the Bruins, man. One year, didn't we win all 3? Was it one year?
We won. We've had 2. We've had 2 out of 4. One year, 2018, we had a shot to claim 3 out of 4 of all the sports championships. And
there was a time.
The Celtics won that year. I'm sorry, the Bruins. No, the Red Sox won that year, and the Patriots won. The Bruins went to the Stanley Cup Finals and lost to the St. Louis Blues in 7 games.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to do 3 out of 4 that year.
And that's why they call us the City of Champions. Those who don't know. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So they got the whole league on notice. Let's talk about keep it on football. Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders, and best wishes to him because I heard he had to have another surgery.
Yeah, they said he announced he had some type of blood clots going on.
Yeah,
you know, he announced that after the game on Saturday night,
in which he attributes to COVID. You know?
He said he had some blood clots going on. Hopefully he's all right. I mean, you look at a well-conditioned athlete, and the guy's still in great shape in his mid-50s, and it's kind of sad when you see his health is giving him
Deteriorating. Yeah,
problems. And the
man.
guy's still in great shape at his age.
Yeah.
That just lets you know you got to wonder about some of these things that's going on,
Yeah.
in the world right now, with
Yeah.
different situations with our health,
And I definitely want to get to that because I'm going to talk about Bill Gates and his appeal, which passed, which I get. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
so his son, Shedeur Sanders, is now the second string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Well, Steve, let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. So technically, he should be the second string, but the coach of the Cleveland Browns came out and made an announcement last night, which is I think is really funny. It's almost like they're trying to hold this kid back. He says, we're going to see in practice this week, we have the former Patriot quarterback, Bailey Zappi, on the roster.
Yes,
you remember
right,
Bailey
right.
Zappi?
And I like Bailey Zappi.
He's the third string quarter. Well, he's on the roster.
I liked him when he was here.
The coach made a statement last night. As of right now, I have not announced who the second string quarterback is. We'll see this week in practice. So it's almost like they're doing everything, I believe, to keep Shedeur from elevating himself the chart.
Let's talk about that some more. Let's get a little bit deeper into why is that? Because, everyone thinks that all these things are happening to him because of his father or the fact that he's cocky and he's got a loud voice. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think most players in the NFL are loud, and walk with some type of cockiness.
You have to be arrogant. You have to be confident.
It's a sport. You have to be arrogant.
You have to be. You have to believe in yourself.
Right. Now, here's what no one is talking about. And you and I have had this discussion. I feel like the reason why he was drafted where he was drafted, the reason why he's being treated the way he's being treated, outside of the media, because that's a whole nother story. He has his own media company. We've talked about this. He has his own media company where he gets first rights to his own liking, right? Not the NFL, who normally gets that. He gets first rights to his own liking through his media company, right? And so this is something new. And even though the NFL is $1 billion league, right? That's still, I don't know what Shedeur is going to bring in on that, but think of it as every rookie coming into the league from this point on with their own media company, with first rights to their own liking, not the NFL, who normally has first rights. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, if I'm an owner or if I own the NFL, I don't care if I'm making $800 billion. I don't want to lose $10 million.
And that's what it comes.
You know what
down.
I'm saying?
That's what they can't allow someone to control their own media company coming into the league, and they don't want this to set a precedent for the next generation of players. So there's a lot of pushback on him. I think there was a conspiracy where people got together and talked for him to drop from a first-round pick to a fifth-round pick.
And it was the owners, because the owners really do run the league, not Roger Goodell.
And then the owner of the Cleveland Browns that drafted you said that he wasn't particularly care about them drafting Shedeur Sanders. It was more on the general manager. So now, what is that saying? When the owner of the team that drafted you, you get pushed all the way down to the fifth round. You was projected to be a first-round pick. Now all of this is going on. Now you were fourth on the depth chart. They trade Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. They start Dylan Gabriel, who was the fourth-round pick. You was projected to be much higher than him in the draft. He's been in college for 6 years. You're giving him a chance to play, and that's all right. But why Shedeur Sanders is not second on the depth chart? Now the coach is saying he's going to see. Bailey Zappi, let's face it, Bailey Zappi is going to be a career backup. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
We know what Bailey Zappi is. The Cleveland Browns have to find out, can Shedeur Sanders play? If you're not going to allow him to elevate himself, why not trade him?
Right. That is correct. And just think about it. I mean, for the owners, for the league to go to the extent that they're going to with Shedeur Sanders and it not be about money doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Well, what's going to happen, I believe, in Cleveland is if Dylan Gabriel have some bad games, eventually the Cleveland fans are very knowledgeable sports fans. Cleveland is actually one of the best sports towns in America.
Right.
If you know, and they're very knowledgeable when it comes to their sports. And the fans are going to demand that he gets in the game at some point. He has a very big following in Cleveland down there.
Right.
And they're going to demand, and the owners, you got to listen to your fan base.
Mm-hmm. You have to. You have to listen to your fan base.
We'll see what happened with this story going forward.
Yeah. So so that's what I think it is, man. And again, it's all about money. Shedeur is one guy, but if he's successful as far as succeeding in the media space, seeing that he has his own media company, who's to say that the next rookie and the next rookie and all these new draft picks that are coming in 2026, they don't come in with their own media. You know what I mean? Well, especially the first rounders.
Well, one thing, Steve, I want to interject. Think about college sports right now. You have the NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are getting paid to go to college now.
Right.
I mean, Cooper Flag, who got drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, I think he got something like $8-9 million to go to Duke for that 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's think of the kid from Brockton, Mass. There's a kid from Brockton. He went to Brigham Young.
Right.
Who goes to Brigham Young? I mean, he's from Brockton. He went out there because he got a nice NIL deal, $8-9 million.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying to you is, some of these kids leave a college and go to another college. The quarterback from Georgia, he's playing at Miami now. And that's what I'm saying, Steve. These guys are jumping around. NIL, it's like free agency in college. Yep. Bill Belichick paid his college quarterback a couple of $1 million to come there. Mm-hmm. So what's happening is, and I think what's happening is I don't even think the colleges like it, but remember, they were sued over this stuff. They were making money off these players' likeness and video games and everything. They were sued. And so the NIL deal, I don't mind college players getting this NIL money because these networks was paying these colleges big money to put these games on TV.
Right.
And you had these players, these players, they weren't getting nothing out of it. So So let's face it, America is a capitalist society.
Right. And I don't mind it either. I don't think it's a big problem either. But again, when you look at the NFL owners, rich billionaires, you know, nobody wants to give away a few $1 million. That's and you may look at it and say a few $1 million compared to the billions that they're making, but that's still money.
Remember what Jerry Jones said? He don't want nothing to affect his bottom line.
Right. Right. And that's every owner. So, the way I'm looking at it, I mean, come on. If they're really pissed at Shedeur Sanders and they going to this extent, it got to be about a girl, right? Yeah. And if it ain't about a girl, then it's about some money.
It's about some money. Come on, man. And they're using him as an example.
Yep.
I feel eventually Shedeur Sanders' talent will get him on a football field.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's being calm. He's waiting. His father's coaching him along. Be patient because your time will come. Remember, he's just one bad play injury away from being the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So let's see where it goes with this.
Yeah. And, I just think that especially, for people like him, when you're treated a certain way or when you're held back, it just makes you stronger.
It does make you stronger and more motivated.
Right. And you're more motivated. And when you come out, you're just going to come out whooping. I feel sorry for the team that has to play against him. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And the kid is talented. He's very talented. He will be on an NFL field at some point playing regular season games.
Right. All right, let's switch it up just a little bit, man. I want to talk about Bill Belichick, the former Patriot coach, because he's been in the news a lot last week. Not having the best season at North Carolina as a coach. But tell me the story about the tweet, because, Drake Maye won the huge game on Sunday with the New England Patriots. And I believe, so he played college at North Carolina, correct?
Yes, he did.
He's from North Carolina, right? Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he's from North Carolina. And his brother played for the University of North Carolina basketball.
Yeah.
Won a national championship with them.
So tell me the story about the tweet.
Now, which tweet is that?
The tweet where Belichick said something to the front office or to someone. I don't want anybody tweeting about Drake Maye or something to that extent.
Oh yeah, Belichick kind of put stuff out there like that. He didn't like the fact that people were tweeting stuff about Drake Maye. He kind of gave them pushback, but Belichick has a lot of problems right now in North Carolina. He's not winning. The program is not going as good as they thought it would. They don't like the fact he's trying to do some things down there that normal college coaches don't do with internal running the program, and he's getting a lot of pushback from the boosters and everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So not to jump back, I want to get to that too.
Yeah.
But just to jump back to the tweet, they're making a real big deal about that.
Yeah.
Even here in Boston, if you listen to other sportscasters, they're making a huge big deal about that. And, you know, I just want to say, like, you know, he coached the same way here with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So for him to not want that, the only reason why he didn't want it, he don't want it to be a distraction.
That's really what it came down to.
And that's what it came down to. But the media, the way they put things out there, the way they put twist on things.
Well, you know, Belichick always kind of ran like a closed door, even with the Patriots. Players weren't allowed to just go talk to the media and let stuff that's going on in the locker room out.
Yeah.
That's why the Patriots were so successful. He ran a tight ship. I think he's trying to establish that culture in North Carolina also.
Right. And it worked here. They're just not, in my opinion, they're not used to that type of coaching. And I think he brought a lot of the coaching style from the NFL to college football, where it's totally different. And you're right. He's having a lot of problems down there. I'm hearing some of his coaches are already looking to get out because Belichick is looking to get out. I heard he's looking to buy himself out.
Steve, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Belichick's way of coaching is going to work in college.
Right.
Because you're dealing with kids. You can't coach the same way. NIL, you can't coach the same way. He also closed practices to NFL teams, and the Patriots was one of the teams. So if you're a kid that's trying to make it to the NFL and pro teams are not allowing to see you practice, don't you think kids will say, I'm not going there?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So Belichick's he's being Belichick. But I don't know if that's going to work down there, Steve. I really don't.
Yeah, it's not working so far. And he may be out before the year's over, man.
And one thing I want to say, Belichick, 74 years old, you went to college from the pros. Nick Saban, who's probably the greatest college coach of all time, 7 national championships. Nick Saban left college because all the NIL and it was changing. So you went to college. Nick Saban left college. So Bill, I don't know if North Carolina was a good move for him. I really don't think it was.
Yeah. And despite all that, you know, I mean, personally, man, I don't like how the media is treating him, man.
Yeah.
I think that the media, because of his style is like, again, like you said, he doesn't allow everybody to talk to the media. Look at Josh McDaniels right now, man. He's having all kinds of press conferences. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That never happened when Belichick was here.
He never got
never happened.
No, Belichick never allowed Josh McDaniels to talk to the media.
Right.
Yeah, but now under Mike Vrabel's a different type of coach. You know, he allowed guys to be free and do their thing, you know?
Right.
But Belichick didn't allow that. Steve, I'm going to be honest. With Belichick, you remember he wasn't really nice to the media. Belichick was kind of nasty to the media at times.
Yeah.
So I think they're always going to have it in for him.
Yeah, he didn't play their game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play their game either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, man. They wouldn't like me for sure. All right. So coming up in a few, we got Boss Lady News. She's going to be in the studio talking live because the S&P is launching a new crypto index. That is huge. If you are invested in the cryptocurrency, or, you know, there's a lot of folks who were against it. It's a scam. It's this and that. Well, guess what? The S&P is launching a crypto index. So you already have the S&P 500. Okay. Now you're going to have the S&P crypto, whatever they're going to name it, man, with all the top cryptocurrencies, man, which is just crazy to me and a sign that things are really about to hit the fan. So she's going to come in and break that down for us. Also got producer, songwriter Dwayne Omarr. He's coming back in the studio, man. We talked about his major projects just a few weeks ago. He's got some updates. And I'm going to tell you, I listened to the group he has, Sons of the Prophet. I listened to that album, and I'm not blowing any smoke. Um, and I told him this, man. Every song on everything he sent me and let me hear on that album, man, I already heard it on the radio. I heard it in you know, it's a hit. It's one of those albums where um the genre of music that it's in, those screaming kids, and probably some adults as well. Yeah, there's definitely something to check out. So when he comes in here, if it's okay with him, I'm gonna play a snippet or two from the album just to give y'all a taste and just tell me if I'm lying or not. You know, as a DJ, man, been doing it for all these years, man. I think I got a good sense of music. You know what I mean? So he's coming in 11:30. We're gonna talk about that. And until Boss Lady gets in here, I want to switch it up and talk about the business of crime. How crime is a business, and the money that is involved in crime, the money that is involved in the jails, in the prisons. You got to feed these folks, the cost of the food. So in Chicago, I'm sure you heard about what happened in Chicago recently, and you got the National Guard. Are the National Guard in Chicago, actually?
They've been fighting against it with the judges and everything, trying to fight them to stop them from coming there, and a couple of other cities. I think up in Portland, they up in Portland, Oregon, they sent them up there to these cities. But what I see is when the National Guard comes into these cities, does it solve the problem? It seems like it creates more chaos.
Yeah, it does create a lot of
people are protesting, and it just seems more chaos is created. And I wonder, would it be better to invest more money in law enforcement, in local law enforcement for these cities versus sending in our military?
Well, one of the things that's being said in Chicago, that if they do send in the National Guard and crime is reduced drastically, that Chicago stands to lose $800 million in federal funding.
Federal funding.
That's almost $1 billion that they have, whether it's the police department, jails, probation, whatever it is. That's a lot of money, man, when you think about it. And we don't think about in general what it costs to fight crime, but obviously it's a business. It's a business. It's a major business, and this is in every city. I wonder what it is here in Massachusetts. What's the cost, to fight crime here? You got mass and cats, which they've been trying to figure out for years. And as simple as we might say the answer is, the more difficult they're going to say it is to do. But as we discussed a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, man, I just feel like it is a money grab. And the money that is put into trying to maintain mass and cast is a lot of money going somewhere else.
Well, one of the things, Steve, that they haven't spoke about lately is you have the island that they used to go to over there. You had to go through Quincy to get there, and Long Island Shelter, which was, they wanted to establish back as a treatment. The bridge was out. The bridge was unsafe. The government gave the money for the city of Boston to fix that bridge. They got the money, but the mayor of Quincy filed a lawsuit. He didn't want them coming through his city. You have to go through Marina Bay to get over to this Long Island Shelter treatment center. If you open that treatment center with that bridge being fixed, and they used to bus people over to Long Island, so they were there for the night. They weren't out there. You could clear up that mass and cast and have a treatment center for these people. This problem could be alleviated very quickly. It could be alleviated very quickly if everyone came together. But you got so much infighting from the mayor of Quincy, who's trying to give pushback.
If that happens, who stands to lose? Somebody's going to lose.
Yeah. There'll be money that won't be going in certain areas. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I think about. Like, who's benefiting the most from mass and cast? It's not the people.
Everything has to always be a political fight. That's the thing that gets me.
Right.
Even when we were trying to get a stadium built, Foxborough Stadium,
It
a
was
new
all
Fenway
politics.
Park, everything, a new a casino. There's
Right.
always everybody got their hands in the pot. And this is people's lives that we're talking about. I mean, you could save a lot of lives. You could.
What stadium? Oh no, we need some of that money.
Exactly.
My folks gotta eat. We got families over here.
Mass and cast is a public nuisance right now. It's safety issue. Someone just got killed by a BU shuttle bus the other day.
Yeah, I heard
crossing
about that.
the street. So you could alleviate that problem if you open a Long Island shelter. You create a treatment center. Most of those people would go over there, get treatment. A lot of them would be in there all day. They have no place to go.
Yeah.
We could alleviate this. We could say what we want, but it's society's problem. Some people say, "Oh, I don't care about that." It's everyone's problem.
Right, and you're right. It's a worldwide problem. You go to different cities, it's the same thing. You go to New Orleans,
Yes.
Los Angeles, they have the same problem, which just makes me wonder.
Yeah, all of this stuff. Yeah, everything's money. All of this stuff, you have money being generated through all type of programs, treatment programs. You have a lot of people say we want to solve it, but sometimes you actually wonder, do they really want to solve these problems?
And I don't think they do.
Just like the military coming in the cities, you're causing more chaos because people are going to protest. Now people will go to jail. Everything just seemed like it's going around in a circle. If I had a chance to sit down with the president,
right,
I would say, do you think sending the military in, doesn't that seem like it, from my visual looking at this? Also, Steve, I would like to talk.
So you're the president, and I'm gonna no, you're the guy. Yeah. I'm gonna pretend I'm the president. So go ahead. You're sitting down with the president.
I would actually ask him, you sending in the military, the National Guard, you're creating more chaos. People are going to protest. They're going to attack the military, throw stuff because they know no one's going to shoot. They're going to throw whatever debris at them, protest. People are going to go to jail because people do want to get arrested when they're protesting. They like that. They go on the news. Everything's being, visualized on the news. Now, local leaders, I would also say to you, why don't we try to reach out to some of these youths in the city, young people? I'm blaming everybody in this. I'm not just blaming one person. Everyone will blame Donald Trump, and I am no doubt in my mind. People will be listening and think, well, he's supporting Trump. No, what I'm saying, I'm blaming everyone. I'm even blaming the people that's committing the acts of violence. If you see that the president of the United States wants to send the military to your town, why are you doing drive-by shootings? Why are you committing violent crime acts? Why are you attacking police officers, lighting police officers' cars on fire? Are you watching the news and see what the president want to do to your city?
So let's talk about that a little bit more, because you said they're doing it to cause confusion, right? Now, it seems like every time we have stuff like this that happens in this city, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but the people that get arrested, you find out they're not even from here.
That happens a lot.
And I mean, they're not from here at all. They're not even from New England, a lot of these folks. It's like they're flown in here to cause chaos for whatever the agenda might be. There's always an agenda. There's always an agenda. Everything that's happening right now is happening for a purpose. There's a reason.
Yeah, because I know I'm not going out there and protest with the National Guard. If the National Guard came to Boston, I'm not going out there and protest.
And and that's the other thing. You never see, we're not like, who do you know that goes to those protests?
I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Who's protesting? I feel like it's not even our people.
I don't know anybody that's protesting when stuff like that happen. Even last night there was a protest. A couple of nights ago, I see a lot of people got arrested for protesting downtown. I don't know anybody that was downtown protesting that attacked those officers. An officer nose got broken. So that's what I'm saying. You are allowing Donald Trump, the president of the United States, you're giving him ammunition why he should send the military to your city, because he feel like the local police are not able to handle these situations, And like I said, are young people watching the news? You're committing violent acts, crimes in the city against each other. And are you not seeing that the president wants to send the military into your city and put National Guard troops walking up and down your streets? Do you want to live like that? Why don't we just stop the crime against each other? Maybe we're not doing a great job of reaching each other.
Easier said than done.
Exactly.
Easier said than done. But I mean, that's how we feel from where we stand and where we sit. But how come it's no problem in other countries, man? There's countries out, they don't have crime at all. They don't have crime at all. Some places you spit on the ground, you go into jail.
There are some countries you don't even have guns. The police officers don't even carry guns in some countries. You have to wonder, why are we, the wealthiest country, the most powerful country in the world, we have a lot of these problems sometimes that other countries don't have.
Remember the lady, what was it? I believe it was Dubai or one of these places she went to. She returned to rent a car, and there was an issue with the rent a car. She cursed the guy out. She got arrested. She was locked up for a minute, and I don't even know. Who knows? She could still be locked up, but I don't know. When you leave this country and you go travel somewhere else into another country, they got a whole different set of rules, and people just don't. A lot of folks don't realize that, and they think they could do the things that they do here and get away with. That they can do those same things. People don't give a damn about you in those other countries.
Well, think about it, Steve. North Korea. I would never want to live there. Those people have no outside connection to anything, what's going on in the world. There's no gun violence there. Let's go to a country where more people have more freedom. China. Mm-hmm. China doesn't have gun violence. So,
and I bet they don't play either. You commit a crime, I bet you they don't play.
Russia don't have gun violence, And we always say those are the countries we wouldn't want to live. I mean, I know people that have lived in China.
There's a lot of us in China.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
There's a whole black area in China.
But there's no violence in China. Why is that? We have to ask ourselves. No one really asks these questions sometimes. America is always the country where you see the inner city violence. What causes this? With these other countries, they don't have it.
It is also amazing that people do travel. There are a lot of us that do travel outside of this country, and we act up here, but we know better to act up there.
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
And it's amazing how you can flip that switch and be a good person somewhere else and be a terrible person in public in your own place.
Yeah, maybe it's because you feel comfortable in the surroundings that you came up in.
And ain't nobody gonna do nothing, or nothing ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
it amazes me.
That's true.
But yeah, so there's a lot of things, man. We can unpack with that, and like, what is the agenda when it comes to all the violence that's going on? With the the military coming, or National Guard coming to your city, and the stuff, even the stuff that just happened here recently, man. What's behind? Like, what are we really fighting for? You know what I'm saying? What's the agenda of having the military come or the National Guard come? I don't know. I can't.
And I actually know people, Steve, that said they don't have a problem with the National Guards coming here.
Well, a lot of folks don't have a problem with it.
I've talked to people, and I try to understand, well, how do you feel, and why will you feel that way? They said, I don't have a problem with it. I want to be able to walk down the street and not feel threatened, not feel that I'm at risk for anything. There are a lot of people I've talked to who said they wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I was really shocked at the number of people I talked to that said they would be all for it.
Yeah,
I think people just want to feel safe.
Yeah, think about it. If you live in a place like Chicago and all the stuff that goes on there, man, it's ridiculous, man. To hear the numbers of people killed on any given night is like, it's ridiculous, man. Can you imagine? I mean, the numbers, and it's funny because I got a brother who lives in Maryland, and he often says, like, when we talk about what happened here, oh man, we got 38 murders up until now. He says, he laughs.
Yeah,
he laughs because where he's at, man, that number is like quadruple.
Yeah.
And so Boston, as small as this city is, it doesn't seem like we still can't contain the violence.
Yeah. Like I said, I tell all my friends they're not big on Donald Trump, and I understand for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But you're giving a guy a lot of ammunition for sending the military into these cities when there's violence, when there's drive-by shootings.
Mm-hmm.
You're making his point a lot of times.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. As far as that, again, we got Boss Lady who should be here in a few minutes. She's going to talk about the S&P as they launches the new crypto index, and I'm gonna get into crypto in a second. But that is a huge deal. I've been talking about, or we've been talking about cryptocurrency on this station for years now. And I know it's been one of them things. Nah, I ain't messing with that, man. I ain't losing my money, man. My friend, even my son said one time when I said to him, and I tried to get my son to invest in some crypto, right? He looked at me and laughed and said, "Why would I do that? My friend just lost a lot of money."
Well, I think what it is the unknown, Steve.
Yeah.
When people don't know.
Yeah.
The unknown of crypto, because crypto was a mysterious thing, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you could go into these gas stations, they were selling it on it looked like an ATM machine, and there was never a face behind crypto. And even at this point, is there a face behind it, Steve?
No, just a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
money is the face behind it.
That's always been the most mysterious thing behind crypto.
Yeah,
the person that came up with crypto, there was never actually a face behind it.
Right.
And we were told by government officials, big banking officials like Jamie Dimon and those guys, don't touch crypto. Leave it alone. It's a scam. Right. Now it's gone mainstream.
Right.
With all of these big banks.
And I'll tell you why people like Jamie Dimon, who's the CEO of Chase, JP Morgan, and Larry Fink, who's the CEO of BlackRock.
Don't forget Fidelity.
That's right. So the reason why they said those things to you, because remember, these guys, they run the largest financial institutions in the world, right? So if you look at the crypto market cap, which I haven't looked at this morning, but if I had to guess, it's anywhere from $3.5 trillion to probably $4 trillion, right? That's the market cap. That's the market cap is the entire amount of money invested into the cryptocurrency space out of all the cryptocurrencies, right? You're talking $3.5 to $4 trillion. That money, once upon a time, before it was invested into crypto, was in people's bank accounts, right? Like Chase, JP Morgan, all the assets that Larry Fink and BlackRock manage, Fidelity, that's where that money came from. So think about this, right? Your money's sitting in the bank now. What are they doing with your money?
Using it.
They're using it,
loaning it to other people.
Loaning it out, whether it's a car loan.
Paying you very little return on your interest.
Right. Credit cards, car loans, mortgages, you name it. They take your money. As soon as you put your money in the bank, they lend it out to other people like me or your cousin or whoever wants a loan. They lend that money out, and then they charge interest to get it back. Banks make billions of dollars doing that every single year. So I'm not mad at Jamie Dimon and Larry Fink, because if I owned the bank, right, I would be pissed. I would say someone got the nerve to take their trillions of dollars and invest it into crypto and take it out of my bank where I can't make no more money on it. And that's all it is. So that's why they did that. But guess what now? Now they're ready. They are now set up on the blockchain, Bank of America, BlackRock. BlackRock's already talking about tokenizing all their assets with about probably $12 trillion that they're going to do that. All right. And they've already started. So now they're in the space. They're in the game. Now they're set up to sell you cryptocurrency. You buy it and custody it in their banks. And that's what they're doing now. They just adjusted to the game.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It took them a little while to see where this thing is going. And they were like, wait a minute. This thing here is starting to really get some steam. And we got to all jump in on this. You got the president of the United States has his own crypto coin. His son, they said they've made somewhere in the vicinity of like 500 million since January. So everyone's jumping into this. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, Steve, it surprised me. I never thought it would take off like this.
Listen, so you're not the only one, man. There's a lot of folks that, and I'll tell you, most people just don't understand the mathematics.
Yeah.
Because if you understood the math where you could take $1, if you could turn that one, if you could take $1, right? You got $1 in your pocket. If you could take that $1 and turn it into $100, wouldn't you do that?
Makes sense all the way.
That's crypto right now. That's crypto right now. There are crypto assets that you can buy for way under a penny, and you could flip it into thousands, millions of dollars, depending on what you're buying and how you're buying and how much you're buying it. And the math is that simple. It's an unbelievable
question,
area
Steve.
right now.
What propels crypto coin to elevate financially? I know how stocks work. What propel a crypto coin to elevate?
The same way stocks elevate, the same way real estate elevates. It's supply and demand.
Got you.
Supply and demand. So right now, folks are going to see about this S&P launching the new crypto index. Oh, it's real now. Bank of America is going to come out and say, okay, we're open for business. We can custody your crypto now. And matter of fact, we're going to offer it to in 401ks for all our employees.
And I have Bank of America. That's where I do my banking. And it's funny.
Right.
It's funny how I've been getting alerts on my phone and paperwork from them that they're in the crypto game now.
Yeah, they're all in the crypto game. They're all in, and I'm going to tell you, the next, matter of fact, between now and the end of the year, if you don't understand what it is, you're going to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Between now and the end of the year, there's a lot of major things that's going to happen this month. In the next 3 months, a lot of major things are going to happen.
I think crypto will generate in the next few years. Like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but you're going to see a lot of multi-millionaires, young people.
Yep.
And you're going to have some of us sitting on the sideline saying, wow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's going to be a lot of wowing. But see, this is the bad thing that's going to happen about it. With that information, with that news piece just coming out and all the other stuff that's going to happen. So what's going to happen next? People are going to run into the space now. And while they're running into the space, things are going to go up. So you're going to pay a high premium now because you're coming in late. Some of you, not all of you, you're going to pay a higher premium. It doesn't mean you're not going to make any money. It just means that instead of buying it when it was under a penny, you choose to buy it now that it's at $100. Remember Bitcoin when it first came out, once upon a time, it was way under $100. I think in 2012 it was like $300 if I'm not mistaken.
I remember when Amazon was $10 a share.
Yeah,
Amazon, and people bought in and they got wealthy. Jeff Bezos started selling books out of his garage.
So imagine having Bitcoin at $300 and you had 10 of them. And right now, Bitcoin, I believe, is like $120 something thousand right now per token.
Yeah.
You got 10 of those.
Yeah.
And the other piece to it, right, which people have to understand. So, by the way, let me just say this too. On Escape on the Cape is December 29th, 30th, and New Year's Eve, right? We got mad events. If you like the party, we got Roxanne Shante, Troop, Adina Howard, Big Bub has been added. We got more that's going to be added. We got Pierre, the comedian. We're also going to do a financial day party, right? We're going to do a financial day party where we're going to have a stock person there, and we're going to go over the basics of crypto. So we're going to do that. It's going to be food. It's going to be drinks, all kinds of stuff. Financial day party. That's going to be at Escape on the Cape. You can go to heat981fm.com and get your tickets. If you want to just come for the day, you could do that. There's tickets for that. If you want to be a vendor, there's information for you for that. So go to heat981fm.com. And I think because of this thing that's happening with the S&P, I think I'm just going to go ahead and maybe do a Zoom next week for those who want to get in now. Because, I've been saying this often, and you've probably read and heard about this often. It is going to be the biggest transferring of wealth in history. It really is, because never before have you had trillions of dollars come into the marketplace. It's never, ever happened in this world. It's never happened before. And it's all because you got this new technology, blockchain, AI, cryptocurrency, and every financial institution is on board with it. And so as this infrastructure is being built, money's being generated, money's pouring in. And if you're invested, listen, it's easy money. It really is.
Now, question, Steve, why is Bitcoin seems to be holding as that one primary crypto?
Well, there's thousands of cryptocurrencies, but out of all the cryptos, Bitcoin is the big dog. There's Bitcoin, and then there's everybody else. But you do have other tokens like XRP, which will give Bitcoin a run for its money. And these tokens have what they call utility. Bitcoin, you could use it to buy and sell all kinds. You can buy a car. You can buy a house. Anything you could buy with cash, you can buy with crypto today, right? You can buy with cryptocurrency today. Cryptocurrency is money. It's digital money. That's all it is. It's digital money. Don't let the vocabulary intimidate you from understanding and knowing what it is, because the vocabulary is simple as what I just said. Cryptocurrency is digital money that operates on what they call a blockchain. Okay, and a blockchain is just a space that it operates on. It's like a file cabinet. It's like a storage unit, except it's digital, and everything that happens on it stays there. Kind of like you go to Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But then again, people could talk, so it may not stay in Vegas. But on the blockchain, it stays there. It's there for life. You can't change that. In order to change it, you got to do another transaction on the blockchain in order to make it different.
So with all of these different financial institutions getting involved now, this is probably making it very more secure, where people can't just go into your account and steal your money. Even if that's what people were worried about for the longest.
Even if they could, guess what? You can see who it is. You know, I just said that everything that happens on there, you can see it. It stays there.
Because in the early days, that was the biggest problem with a lot of people. And people forgetting their password. If you tried to get in there 3 times, you could. There was some person that had like $20 million. If you tried 3 times, you would lose it into the universe forever. Mm-hmm. Is all of this is going to be a more secure situation going forward?
It's very secure. The blockchain is private, but it's also public. It's both, and it just depends on who you're dealing with. You know, the media is a public entity. So if you're doing something, like that, they'll be on the blockchain,
and you will pay taxes on your gains on like regular.
Well, here's the
investments
thing.
Going forward.
Here's the thing. Yes or no to that question. Yes or no, because your president, Donald Trump, has already said that any companies that are operating in the U.S., you will not have to pay capital gains tax.
Wow.
So if you make $1 million, that $1 million is yours. You pay no taxes on $1 million, right? And why not do it, Donald? I mean, you're gonna be one of the first trillionaires. You know.
Well, Donald was one of the, Donald actually was one of the people that was telling people not to touch crypto.
Yeah, a lot of them were, and like I said, the reason is because, again, the banks, they did not want to lose money like that. You know, if you got $10 million, Rich, right? Man, I'm taking. They paying me a little money on my money. You could take that money and put it some in the crypto space and not lose a dime. But gain, you can turn that 10 million into 40 to $100 million in the crypto space, right? Let's do some math. And I like to do this because I know during different times we got different audiences, we got different people watching. And I like to explain things so people can understand, right? So, for example, we're going to do some math here. I want y'all to pull out y'all calculators. That's 3 months. I want to do the last 12 months. Hang on one second. I wish I could do it on and actually I can do it on the screen. I just got to figure out how to do it. All right. So let's do. All right. So the last 12 months, I'm looking at a crypto right now that is called, Saros again. Saros is up. It was up 19,000%, but today it's up 14,212% in the last 12 months. Right. So give me a number, Rich. Give me a number.
Say if I had bought that $10.
$10? Okay, we'll keep it small. $10 times, and I'm just going to average it out, 14,000%. Right? Your $10 is now $1,400. You just turned $10. If you had $10 on Saros, and you just kept it there for the last 12 months, which people do sometimes, right? And you go back and you're like, damn, I got 14. Where that $1,400 came from? You probably wouldn't even know it came from there. Exactly. But let's up it right now. Let's up that $10 to
$1,000.
Yeah. So
what's that?
That's 14. Is that 14,000?
$14,000.
Yeah. Let's do it. You said $100, right?
Yeah. No, 1,000.
Oh, 1,000. Okay. $1,000 times 14,000%. That's 100. Yeah, you're right. $140,000.
$140,000. Okay, there you go. And you
so
you could be setting yourself up for life.
If your $1,000 was there you just sat it there for 12 months, and that's just one particular crypto I'm talking about. There's plenty others. It's up. Some might be up, and it's crazy for me to say only 800% compared to the 14,000. Yeah. Oh, this one's up, and there are some that's up much smaller, and I'll tell you some of those. Toshi's up 436%. AB's up 22,000%. Okay. XCN's up 733%. These are all in the last 12 months.
It's amazing when you talk about the crypto. It kind of reminds me of something else. Remember Uber in the early days when all the towns and cities didn't want Uber into their towns or cities? The cab companies was fighting against Uber.
Right.
And Uber just kicked the door down because they realized Uber was needed.
Right.
And Uber became a multi-billion-dollar company. And they realized once Uber got started, it wasn't regulated. You had people driving you around. But then Uber realized we're going to do background checks. We're going to make sure all our drivers are on point, because they were just letting anyone drive Uber in the early days. But they did it to get it going.
Yeah, yeah.
Once they got it going, they started doing extensive background checks on their drivers, driving records, background checks, and started putting people on the road that was actually reputable people. And then it became a full-time industry for people. I know people that drive Uber 60, $70 hours a week.
Yeah, major entity right now.
I know people making $150,000 a year driving Uber.
Yeah.
That's their full-time job. But in the early days, people were like, oh, Uber? No, I'm not getting in the car with a stranger. Oh, they were pushing Uber as an unsafe thing. Uber said, wait a minute, you got to have a car that's certain years old, maintenance, make sure your insurance is there. Uber carries insurance now for the passenger and everything. Uber tightened everything up, became a multi-million-dollar business. And you know what? If you took Uber away right now, what would that do to the nightlife in cities? Yeah. There's not enough cabs to service people.
There's not enough cabs, and we'd have to go back to being treated disrespectfully. The cab sees you, but he keeps going.
And one major thing, Steve, that Uber did, it kept drunk drivers off the road. People can stay out, get drunk now, and get in an Uber and go home, and they're not. No one's lives are at risk.
And it was a big FU to some of the cab companies, because you know how we got treated, man.
That's right.
I'm sure you've been out there plenty of times.
Oh,
during the cab days, you trying to haul a cab, yo. Ain't nobody in there. What's up?
Well, they wouldn't go to certain parts of the city.
Right.
You try to get a cab late night, they wouldn't go to certain. And you know what? I didn't feel bad for the cab industry, because you picked and choose what part of the city you wanted to go to and take people. And you know what? You got a rude awakening. And a cab medallion was up at one point $750,000 for one cab medallion.
Very expensive.
Now it's back down to $30,000-$40,000 where it should be. A lot of people made money off their cab medallion. They bought it cheap, sold high.
Yeah.
Okay. Then guys bought high and it got devalued. But you know what?
I can't even remember the last time I've seen a cab.
Well, they still
I know they still exist.
Yeah, cabs are still on the road. But some people still like to take the cabs. You go to New York City, there's a lot of cabs on the road still. But Uber, I knew cab drivers that went from driving cabs, went to driving Uber. So that's kind of like just comparing Uber and Bitcoin. People try to say, no, we're not going to do that. And it just knocked down the door for the industry.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, man, it's a good time to get into this crypto space. It's not too late. And I thought it would be late by now, but it's not. And, I'm understanding it more and more and more. Like these last 3 months are going to be huge because a lot of things are happening. By the end of the year, the Genius Act was already passed, which is an act that regulates stable coins. Stable coins, they're just a group of cryptocurrencies that stay stable. You can learn all this stuff in the workshops, right? And again, I'm gonna try and see if I could do one next week. I'll put one together. You can go to my page and see when it is. But so you got the Genius Act, which was passed months ago. The next set of laws that the financial institutions are waiting for is one called the Clarity Act. So the Clarity Act, it's going to put regulations on what the banks can and cannot do with cryptocurrency. I'm sure they already know. It's just they're just waiting for that law to pass. Once that law passes, I'm sure you'll finally see companies like Bank of America and Fidelity and Wells Fargo and so on and so on. They'll begin to advertise that you can buy and they'll custody your cryptocurrency. Banks are going to become what they call platforms for crypto. And these platforms where you buy crypto like Coinbase are going to become banks.
So Coinbase, is that a crypto?
No, Coinbase is a platform where you could buy crypto.
Okay, because I see Coinbase advertising on television that you could pay through Coinbase.
Yeah, so
There's
you could buy
commercials. You could so you use Coinbase as a method of payment.
No, well, there is a Coinbase card. Yeah, so if you got a Coinbase card, you could use that as a method of payment. Yes,
payment. Okay, I see that. They've been promoting that big time. Coinbase.
Yeah. So Coinbase. So if you want to buy crypto today, let's say you want to buy Bitcoin or XRP, you can go through Coinbase and you could purchase that. Yeah. So, all right, Boss Lady just walked in, so you can actually sit right here in front of the computer because we're going to use a camera on the computer. Yeah, so you can go to Coinbase and buy anything. XRP, you can buy Solana. There's a lot of new tokens out there, and you can purchase most of them on Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be one of the first banks. Ripple, who owns XRP, their bank application is they're going to become a bank. Stuff is changing, man. Stuff is changing. People are just going to wake up one morning and it's going to be like, I heard about this, but what the hell happened?
I missed out.
How come I wasn't on this?
Yeah.
Goolsby talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, let me bring you up right now here. So we got Boss Lady in the studio from inside the ride.
That's right.
She just jumped out of the ride.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right, something's hold on. I'm getting a little echo. That might be okay, wait a minute. I think I gotta do it up here. Get rid of that echo. Let's get rid of the echo. Boom, it's gone. All right. I know how to make magic happen.
You sure do.
What's happening, boss?
Listen. It is a day of a day of a day. And, I woke up this morning.
Adjust your camera a little bit, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry. Y'all want to see me better?
No, not that. The computer. That's where the camera.
Oh, hey, Bo.
That's better. That's better. Boo. Now we can see you. All right. Boss Lady, y'all.
Listen, so I woke up this morning, and of course, the first thing I do is I check social media, and all my social media algorithm has nothing but, investment stuff and purchasing property and starting businesses. And what's bubbling up over and over and over. And, for anyone that did not show up to Goolsby's event here at the station when they were going over the different cryptos to look at, you provided us with 2 graphs. One of them in my phone, I took pictures of them, but in my phone, if I type in bubble, right, you provided us a graph that had all these bubbles on them, and they had different cryptocurrencies to kind of watch out for.
Right.
And one of them was XRP.
Right.
And just to see now what's happening. And again, I woke up this morning, I looked at my social media, and one of the first things that bubbled up is how the banking system is looking to back the US currency by cryptocurrency. And I'm like, okay, let me dive a little deeper. And as I dive deeper, of course, I had to Google it and check and see what's actually out there. And Fidelity on
Mhm.
Fidelity's news and reports actually popped up, and they're talking about what is the Genius Act.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I had to read this to you, right?
We was just talking about the Genius
You were
Act.
just talking about it. I'm sorry. I was
Oh no. Let's get into it.
dealing with some
You know,
other business.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Okay. So, all right. What is the Genius Act? The Genius Act outlines comprehensive regulatory guardrails to stable coin and stable coin providers. The bill aims to establish clear rules for issuers and reserves while also protecting consumers and maintaining financial stability. So they are looking to, okay, so for example, 1 unit of a stable coin that's pegged is the word that they're using. So there's new vocabulary for you guys.
Yep.
That's pegged to the US dollar should also be worth $1.
Gotcha. Yep.
So if people have invested in these cryptocurrencies when they were, less than, you'll own these already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you understand that transferring of currency, if you own something that is worth so much more, like if you own 1 XRP,
Right.
it's going to be worth more than the US dollar.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I think people don't understand is like, how does that transfer actually happen?
So I try to get folks to think about it this way. Think about how much is $1 really worth today? A dollar's not worth a dollar.
It's worth less than $1.
There's nothing you can buy in the store for $1 today. But before you could buy a stick of gum, maybe, right? You could buy penny candy. I don't even think penny candy's a penny. It's not a penny anymore,
No,
right?
there's no such thing.
So when good point, because when you compare $1 to one cryptocurrency, even the cryptos that might be under a penny, the value of those cryptos, and there's a bunch of them out there like that I could tell you about, they're worth way more than what the US dollar is worth.
Absolutely.
So if you're a millionaire,
thousands of dollars more
right,
than
right.
the US currency.
So if you're a millionaire, you might have $1 million in cash, but those dollars are not worth as much as you think it might be worth.
Absolutely.
You're going to spend a whole lot more of it to get what you want, But in the crypto space, it's a different game because you know how you can leverage your house, the equity in your house?
Mm-hmm.
You can leverage cryptocurrency the same way.
You got to tell us how.
You can leverage it the same way. So let's say you buy, I talk about buying Bitcoin all the time. I used to think that Bitcoin was too expensive to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And this was part of my learning process too. Nah, don't buy that. It's too, well, you can get this. It's cheaper over here. But you don't have to own a whole Bitcoin to make money.
Mm.
Bitcoin's $120,000 today, right?
So you could buy a piece of it.
You could buy a
fractions.
piece, right? You can buy fractions of it and get gains on those fractions.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way they're doing real estate now. Well, you can always buy fractions of real estate, but now with crypto and the digital space and blockchain, you can buy fractions of real estate.
That's right.
So yeah, you can leverage Bitcoin in the same way. If you own half of a Bitcoin, and let's say that Bitcoin is worth $2 million and you own half of one,
mm-hmm.
Come on, man. That's a come up right there. If you do the math on that.
What you were explaining, basically, they're regulating everything within the crypto industry.
Absolutely.
To protect the consumer.
Well, it's because they need to protect the value of the United States. Not even so much the United States dollar, because the dollar used to be backed by gold, right?
Yep.
Once they took the dollar off of the gold standard,
yes, then
the value of the dollar dropped. Although gold consistently continues to rise. And in fact, there are stocks out there.
Gold just hit $4,000 an ounce.
There are stocks out there that are backed by gold even. There's cryptocurrency that is backed by gold, either physical form where you can sell off the crypto and get actual gold bars, or where it's held someplace for you.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that currency is consistently changing. And when currency changes, we have to change our understanding behind how to use it, right? So gold is always going to be because it's tangible. It's something that people are still mining for.
Yeah, and gold was actually the first form of currency.
Right.
If you think about it.
Right, it was. I mean, trade And then amongst trade,
exactly,
gold was like the it standard. So I don't know if people ready for this.
And here's what folks don't understand about gold. Guess what they're getting ready to do with gold? Gold is about to be tokenized. It's about to be tokenized. On the matter of fact, everything is going to be tokenized on the blockchain. That's what's getting ready to happen with gold. And again, Larry Fink, like I said earlier, you know, BlackRock, the largest asset management company in the world, he's getting ready to tokenize all of their assets. Every single asset that they own, which is a large sum, is going to be tokenized on the blockchain.
And I've noticed the Dow Jones just keeps going up. This morning I checked, it was almost 47,000.
Yeah.
Do you see, what do you think? How far will the Dow Jones keep rising?
Well, listen, the numbers are going to be historic. I'll tell you that. How much is going to go up, I can't tell you.
Someone told me, but don't be surprised if the Dow Jones hit 50,000 at some point.
It would not surprise me. Yeah. I would not be surprised because the numbers are going to be crazy on the stock market as well as the crypto space. Now, boss, if you could kind of, so we've been talking about this morning. So the S&P, we got the S&P 500, right? They're getting ready to launch a new crypto index for cryptocurrency. I don't know what your thoughts are. If you could just kind of give me your thoughts on that, what that is, you know, for the folks sitting in the back.
Absolutely. So first of all, break it down for me as if I was a fifth grader.
Right. I love that. Oh, you want me to break the S&P?
Yes. Okay. Break the S&P down. So do you understand it?
Oh yeah, I believe so, but I want you to break it down because that, you know.
So tell me what you understand.
So the S&P 500 is the 500 top assets in a basket, sort of, kind of, I guess, or an index.
Yes.
Like Apple, you know, it could be whatever car company.
It could be GM, General Motors,
all the top companies. Yeah,
all the top.
Right. And so people can invest in that instead of investing in one stock. You invest in an S&P, and it's measured against the markets a lot. People look at that. If the S&P is doing well, then the market is doing great.
It's a standard.
Right. If it's not doing well, then things aren't looking good. You know, people might get a little worried.
Can I interject?
That's my understanding.
Can I interject for a minute?
And tell me what you know.
Now, it took me until I was probably 40 years old for years, I would see Walter Cronkite on the news and these old guys on the black and white TV. Every night they would show the Dow Jones. Had no clue what it was all through my adulthood years. Finally, I'm like, the smartphones come out. I'm like, what's this Dow Jones thing?
Right.
I finally found out it was the top 500 companies on the New York Stock Exchange that controlled it. Is that correct?
So, okay. So the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies, and they actually even include the United States.
Yes.
If you guys did a little homework and dig a little deeper, you'll be able to find Franklin Institute. Franklin Institute actually holds shares within the United States. So if people really want to, you know, step their foot into owning this country, they can.
Yeah.
So when it comes to looking at what's happening with the top 500, right, you really want to check and see who owns some of these top 500. There's really only 6 large conglomerates that have taken in these companies, right? We're talking about Bill Gates owns certain things. We're talking about General Mills owns certain things.
Is BlackRock one of them?
So BlackRock is almost its own entity. And BlackRock, you can, so what's the other guy's name? Not Bill Gates. Who's the other, you know, top
Jamie Dimon?
No.
Elon Musk?
No, the older gentleman.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett's company actually owns pieces of BlackRock. So what's really interesting about BlackRock is you can get it in what's called a mutual fund. And the S&P 500 is a larger version of a mutual fund. A mutual fund, like you were saying, Goose, is like a basket, right? And within this basket, let's say people are getting a raffle, right? And let's say you're spending $100 on that raffle, and inside that basket, that raffle basket, you've got Apple, you've got Clear Channel, which is commercialization. You've got General Mills, which is your food industry. You've got National Grid, or whoever kind of runs, the larger version of the heating and electric systems. Right. You've got all of these within that basket. And if you get at least one share, you are an owner within all of these different businesses. So as long as these businesses make money, you make money as well. And that's why a lot of people will still invest into the S&P 500. And when they see that these 500 larger companies are still in the green, then that means the economy is doing very well.
And it's safe.
Right. But when it comes to wealthy people, they're always looking for the reds. Because if you do your history on any company that might be in the red right now, but was previously in the green, that means this company is going to bounce up again.
So is that why when they said the market drops, wealthy people buy?
That's right. It's discount
I've been hearing that for years. They said don't get afraid when the market tanks.
That's right.
The wealthy people actually come in and buy.
It's discount time.
Isn't it funny how mentally that plays on people? Because you would think, like, just when you go grocery shopping or you shopping for clothes, you're shopping for sales.
That's right. Yes.
Right? And it's the same thing if you're going to shop in stock market or crypto. You buy low.
You buy low.
People
want discounts, but when it comes to trusting, right, the market, people that are not used to it don't trust it, right? People are willing to go for a discount, let's say at Bloomingdale's, but you trust that what you're getting at a discounted price is worth the value. But when they get shares in the red, they don't trust that it's worth the value. You got to do your history on that company that you're buying into. Just like people have to trust if they're getting Louis Vuitton, right? Yep. They have to trust if they're getting Prada. They know these brands are historically valuable. There's equity. They can buy something at a discount and probably turn around and go sell it on eBay or Etsy for more.
I think it's a mindset with people a lot of times.
Yeah, and trust.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we got to get out of that. Right. Because as much as people want to be against it and against our current administration, changes are happening.
Yeah.
And changes have happened with every administration. We are just distracted.
Yes.
And encouraged to look at something else.
Yeah.
Instead of paying attention to the money.
Well, I've got friends that I've encouraged to put money in the stock market over the years. They'll tell me that's a risk, but they go to the casino and lose $1,000.
Exactly. If you're going to lose it here, if you're going to risk it in one location that is less likely to come up, then why not risk it in a location where if you do your homework, it's more likely to come up. We have to trust that technology is moving forward because it is.
Well, the stock market since the 1920s have been the one major thing to create wealth in this country.
Well, and real estate.
And real estate too. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, but the stock market has shown over the course of history, it might have its ups and downs, but if you put money in the stock market over a 20, 30 years stretch, you will come out ahead.
And there are levels of securities that these larger corporations have put in place, right? They are making sure that these firewalls prevent a depression from happening because they don't need that. They don't need everybody poor.
Like giving out free money during the pandemic to everybody and keeping the liquor stores open.
That's right.
Keeping everyone spending money, giving money to people that didn't even have money.
The essentials. And who would have known?
It's funny how they can stop.
Everybody had money during the pandemic. I've never seen so many people with money that didn't have money.
Right.
They were buying stuff that they never had. They were buying the top shelf liquor.
Right.
I mean, everybody had money. And I told people, I said, they're just keeping the economy going right now because they can't allow the economy to crash with everything closed down.
Let's keep them inside.
Right.
But keep those things that's going to generate money go.
Walmart, Target, and Amazon made the most money they ever made in history in that short stretch.
And so many Black millionaires were made during this time because people had to sit down.
Yeah.
They had to sit down and figure out a way to make some money online. And they did that. And when they understand the value of their business, and just to imagine all the Black businesses that got bought out during that time, Target was taking Black businesses and putting them on the shelves. People were selling out their businesses because they never seen money like that.
Exactly.
Not understanding that if someone's willing to send you some money for something, it's
Listen,
probably worth more.
I did during the pandemic. I put together a credit repair company, and I made so much money. It was great. I mean, and I didn't expect that. I was making so much money. I just got overwhelmed with it over time. I had to let it go. The money was good, but other things were suffering because of the time I had to put into it. And even though I was making all that money, it's not like I had a staff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I probably should have put a staff together, but you know, you can't be everywhere. You can't do everything. And as good as that money was, it was like, yo, I can't do it no more.
Well, what she said earlier, we get, when I say we, within our community, we get distracted with other things. We don't pay attention to the financial structure of the country, like the stock market and stuff.
We focused on P. Diddy.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
We focused on P. Diddy. He just got
4 years.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
But how many people know that the dollar is about to be put on crypto?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we've only been talking about it for the last 4 or 5 years here.
Right.
You know?
And people
But
have
Goose
to
is crazy. Goose don't know what the hell he's talking about. That dude is, man, you listening to him, man? Come on.
Listen. If people would change their algorithm and just add some of this stuff in. Okay, so when we talk about the stock market, right? If you understand that you buy low and you sell high, but it's a long-term game, right? I'm not a day trader when it comes to stock because I'm not going to sit at the computer and just be watching it all day. But I am the person that's like going to do my history on the company, see how it's working, and then buy some, right? So one day, God was like, hey, Britt, why don't you buy some Google? This was long time ago. I want to say around the 2000s.
Oh, man.
So around the 2000s, I started looking into it. I think I didn't do it until probably 2007. So before 08 hit. And I had bought around $500 per share. I was like, okay, let me just get a few shares. I had some extra money. Now, by the time 2019 came around, well, probably 18, my $500 per share had turned into $2,300 per share. Yeah.
And then it probably split, right?
And so there's something called stock splits.
Yep.
And people don't understand what a stock split is, right? So what happened was I owned a certain amount of shares within that time. Now I wasn't paying attention to it. You know, I was advised because I was young, just set it and forget it. So I had free shares given to me every time the company went in the red, not understanding that the reason that some companies go into the red is to do a stock split. And what a stock split does is it takes the price of a stock, it drops it down so that average people that are now getting interested into stock market can actually purchase.
Teslas did that about 4 times.
Exactly. And people don't understand. They're like, oh, the company must be
Apple
going down.
did the same.
Apple's done it. Google's done it. Tesla done it. Amazon's done it. I bought Amazon and I had Tesla before, but I bought Amazon during COVID. And the shares were only $100. $100. So $99 to be exact. And I'm like, okay, let me get 10 of them. So now that the shares are around $400, I got a $300 profit. I got extra shares because I never took my money out, even though it was down. And every time it drops, not only does it make it cheaper, but companies will do like if you have a share, we'll give you 9 shares. So I forget what that's called, but they'll actually give you free shares for not selling off your shares.
Listen, y'all. And like I said earlier, we're doing a financial day party at Escape on the Cape. We're going to be talking about stocks. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. And as I said, the S&P is launching a new crypto index. Now, let me ask you, what do you think? Well, basically just like the S&P 500, now you're going to have the top cryptos. I don't know how many they're going to have in that index, but you got to think Bitcoin, you got to think XRP, Solana, probably Ethereum. You're probably going to have the top, I would say probably the top 50 or maybe less, maybe the top 30 tokens will probably be in that index if I had to guess. But I think it's huge. I think it's huge for the crypto space. I think when you hear people talk about it's going to be the largest transfer in the wealth, this is one of the reasons why. And I didn't see this coming.
Right.
I knew crypto was going to hit the stock market, but I didn't see this coming right here. So this is huge for the crypto space. And now they're waiting on the Clarity Act to pass, which will pass sometime by the end of the year or maybe before that, which is going to give clarity on what banks and financial institutions can and cannot do with the crypto space.
Right. And keep an eye on the Genius Act.
Yeah. Oh, the Genius Act is already passed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already in place. That's in place right now for stable coins. So that's already happened. You know what I mean? So now they're just waiting on the Clarity Act. Once that happens, it's it.
So
the
I'm
race
hearing
is on,
the date of November 22nd consistently popping up on my social media platforms of get your crypto before November 22nd.
Right.
I heard BlackRock is making a move around the 20th. And then there's another major company that's, I think Franklin is making a move around the 20th to the 22nd.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're moving all of their equity into crypto also.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of things happening between now and before the 22nd. You got probably about 80 ETFs that are waiting to be approved. XRP being one of the main ones out of all those. So that's going to be huge. Once that happens, once those ETFs are approved, and there's a date for, I can't remember the date. I think it's in December, where all the banks throughout the world have to be in compliance for the ISO blockchain, for the ISO 222 blockchain. They all have to be in compliance. Most of them are in compliance now, but worldwide, they all have to be in compliance. So this is all happening like right now. If you don't understand it or still believe in it right now, you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong, because this stuff is happening. Major institutions are involved. And listen, don't wait till it's getting close to being the last minute. Don't wait. Learn about it. It's not hard to learn. It's very basic. And again, we're going to do a financial day party at Escape on the Cape, but I'll probably do a Zoom next week. I don't know how many people will sign up short notice, but I say, listen, man, learning the basics is the key to understanding the crypto space. It is not hard to learn. Most people get intimidated by the vocabulary. Wow, what is blockchain? What is this?
Wait, Robinhood was added to the S&P 500.
Oh, wow.
Robinhood was added. I'm looking at Yahoo Finance right now.
Yeah.
And in September, retail brokerage Robinhood was added to the S&P 500.
Wow, that I did not know. So that's news. We got a phone call real quick. Hello, who's this? Hello. Did we lose him? Oh, I think they hung up. Or maybe it was a telemarketer. Wow, yeah. So Robinhood on the S&P 500. Did not know that. But yeah, that's all. That's big news. You got the S&P new crypto index being launched. I'm not sure when that's going to fully take place, but it's happening now. You got the ETFs that will be approved between now and November. I believe it's November 18th through the 22nd, unless it's delayed. And there could be some delays because of the work stoppage with the government, the shutdown. So we'll see.
If people don't know where or how to get crypto, okay, here's the basics, right? Go to Fidelity. If you're not sure, and to be able to get fractions, like we talked about earlier, to be able to get fractions of a share, which means something that's maybe under $50, even something that's maybe under $25, you can get those through companies that allow you to do what's called penny stocks. Fidelity is one of them. So you can go to fidelity.com, you can open up an account with them, You can open up a self-guided account,
Yep.
and then you can link your bank account to Fidelity. That is how you will fund your Fidelity account. If you could put $100 in there from your personal bank account into your new Fidelity brokerage account, then you can start purchasing some crypto. There's options for being able to look for what you're purchasing for, and then you want to place a buy. So I think also, Gooseby,
Yep.
with the Zoom, which I don't mind being on,
Okay.
I can actually do like a walkthrough, because most people are like, okay, I'm interested, but how do I start? What do I do? What are the steps? I need A, B, C, D, not just what's going on in M, L, and N, right?
Mhm.
So we have to be able to bring people from the base level and get their accounts opened up.
Right.
So anybody that wants their accounts opened up, make sure you are on Gooseby's Zoom.
Yep. And I'll put that together today. I'll let you know when. Sometime today I'll post it on Facebook, Instagram, and all those platforms. But yeah, so stuff is happening, man. These last 3 months, you know, I know a lot of folks don't like your president, you know, but when you listen to him, you should still listen to him because you want to know what he's saying. It's like one of those things, whether you like him or not, you need to know where, you know, whether he's your enemy or not.
Right.
You need to know who's, where, what, how, and what they're doing and what they're saying.
Follow the money.
You know, and all I can say is that when they talk, I listen for the simple fact that there are some things that they talk about that I have interest in.
Right.
So I want to keep up so I can know what to do with my investments. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I advise people to listen. When they say that it is going to be historic, believe them, because they're well invested into the space themselves.
Well, people allow their emotions to take over. I don't like the president. I don't like this about him. Your emotions take over and it clouds your thinking going forward financially. That's my perception of the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree with you.
They really allow him to, because you don't like his political views or whatever. He's not in your political party. But I mean, financially, he's done some things. And if you're following it and you want to make money going forward, you better listen.
That's right.
Yeah. You better listen. And like I said, they're going to be the first trillionaires because they're highly invested into both spaces, the stocks and the crypto side. And when they say that history is going to be made and that, you know, things are going to go crazy, I believe them because I see and understand the numbers and I see where the money's coming from. And if you pay attention to that, you know it's hard to believe when you hear someone say $1 trillion is coming into the marketplace because it's never happened before. But if you listen to those guys talk, Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon, even Warren Buffett, all of those people dogged the cryptocurrency space once upon a time. And they did it for a reason. But you mentioned something earlier. I think you said Warren Buffett owned a piece of BlackRock. They all own a piece of each other.
Right.
You know,
right.
Matter of fact, Warren Buffett, Larry Fink and Jamie Dimon, they own a crypto exchange in Brazil that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars a year, maybe even $1 billion by now.
And people have to know what to do once they become that billionaire, because I am on that route.
Mm-hmm.
And what they should do.
Y'all heard that? Wait a minute.
Listen,
Don't back. Hey, hold up. She's on the route. She's on the route.
I believe, I know, I see, I create $1 billion. Okay. My voice is worth $1 billion.
And before, you know, not to interrupt you, right? Listen, you heard what she just said, right? Now, a lot of folks would be like, yeah, right. Because I know the numbers, because I've been following the space, I believe her.
Yeah.
It's because it's not hard to do if you understand the numbers and you follow the calculations and you know basic math. It's not hard to believe.
Yeah, stop running to those casinos with that money thinking y'all gonna get rich.
Right. And so, you know, and for people out there that are like, okay, I'm not going to do Fidelity. I'm nervous with doing that. Everybody got Cash App. And here's two things I'm going to say about Cash App. They got Cash App. Listen, I only just got Cash App, but I just found out there's a young man that I know whose job is paying him through Cash App. So he can put the Cash App routing number and bank account, and he gets his direct deposit into Cash App. So that is a third party banking system, not directly connected to the second level of investing or of banking systems or financial institutions. But if you're going to use Cash App, own Cash App. So get you some Cash App. If you're going to use Robinhood, own some Robinhood. If you're going to use Coinbase, own some Coinbase, and you can use your Cash App to even get stock. So I
Right.
wasn't really into Bitcoin. I'm like, I don't know. But as people are like, oh, I got to pay you in Cash App, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to link, because I was nervous too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to link my personal account to it. But what I will do is, as people send me money in Cash App, I'll just buy some Bitcoin with it.
Right.
So I'm not even using my own money to
Mm-hmm.
buy the Bitcoin. I was using somebody else's money, which is the name of the game. And I was buying Bitcoin with that. Now, Bitcoin isn't even worth purchasing anymore. I would say people have to do their history. They have to do their research.
Mm-hmm.
XLM, XRP, they need to be getting that, because that is the next wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin, people were getting it at 30,000. People are like, oh, I don't believe in this. 60,000. Oh, I don't believe in it. 100,000. Oh, it's going to crash. 120,000. It's going nowhere.
That's
Okay.
right.
XLM, XRP, those are the next Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get those things through Cash App.
And I believe, and I'm going to confirm the number, I believe XLM is like 40 cents or 40 something cents. It was stuck at 11 for a long, long time. You see, XLM is 37 cents.
Mm-hmm.
37 cents today. 37 cents for XLM, man. Come on. Come on. You know? And if you know where it's going, I know where it's going.
And if you take just $10,
Right.
$10 and get you some, you're going to have more than 10 shares.
Yep.
But when that $33 turns into, let's just even say, $100,
Yeah, we just did that a second ago.
your profit's way over 100%.
That's
Right.
right.
That's what we have to understand. Like you said, it's the numbers. $10 invested,
Basic mathematics.
basic math. And it's worth it. If you're going to go out there and get you a drink for what, $24, take that 24 and invest it in something that's going to turn over a few zeros behind it. Got to do it.
And listen, how long have we been complaining about the rat race? About, oh, I gotta go to work, man. I hate this job. Hustling for that check.
Gotta pay the bills.
Gotta pay them bills.
Mhm.
You're so tired of the job. You're tired. You got family. You got the kids, and the rat race. None of us wants to be in it. And this right here is an opportunity, man. I'm telling you, it is an opportunity for you to earn money that you've never earned before in your
100%.
entire. And this is for everyone. This isn't just for one individual. You don't have to be. Some people say, hey, you got to be. Oh, he's smart. I'm smart, man. Listen, this is basic mathematics, man.
Mhm.
You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to go to Harvard or attend MIT to understand the math that goes along with the stock market and cryptocurrency. You just don't.
That's right.
In the terminology, it might look like it's a big word, right? But they really mean basic things that you do and talk about in everyday
And
society.
let's not be lazy, right? I've been using that word a lot lately. Let's not be lazy, right? If you don't know what something means, go on to YouTube for all the YouTubers that are using that for their research and find out what does it mean. You can go to YouTube and actually look up what is Coinbit or what is Coinbase.
Mhm.
And the reason I want people to consider looking up what is Coinbase, because that is where you can find all of your cryptocurrencies, all of them. That is where you can find news about those cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
That's where you can actually buy cryptocurrencies. People have to understand I hate to call them, financial institutions, because they're third party created by millennials, but they're financial institutions now.
Yeah. And
Coinbase?
they have good tutorials on there too.
They do.
Yeah, the tutorials on Coinbase are excellent. That's why I refer people there, because I think they're probably the most user friendly
Mhm.
out of all the platforms that sell cryptocurrency.
I met a woman. I have a client. She's awesome. She's actually the one why now I'm using Coinbase a lot.
Mhm.
Also, I'm one of those referral people,
Yep.
right? I gotta, in the hood, we gotta see you making money for us to be like, okay, we can make money like that too. So this woman's story, she came here. I helped her purchase a property, right? Before
Yep.
the closing, she just got her papers. She was using the She's from Haiti, and she'd only been here for about 2 years. But as soon as she got here, she was like, okay, can I start a business? She started her business, started working for the city as a translator, and then started learning about cryptocurrency. This woman knows more about cryptocurrency and how to trade the US dollar in cryptocurrency than I did. She's like, oh, I'm teaching, my friends. And I'm like, they didn't even know English 3 years ago. Didn't even know. We can't continue to blame anybody for the knowledge that we can actually get for ourselves.
Right.
It's out there. We can do it. We have to do it. Use your Cash App and get you some stock.
Right.
If you got to start there, start there.
Right. And it's all again, it's basic mathematics. And the cost of it is money you spend going to the bar or going to the mall or going to the restaurant, buying a sub, doing the little things that you do on a day-to-day basis that you don't recognize you're spending money until the end of the week. You wonder why you don't have any money, because you spent it on things where you don't get anything back. One of the things I could tell you I learned about, if I have even $1, that $1 is going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we have to get to. We have to get to the point where we know how to make our money work for us. Money it's yours. You're in charge of it. Why not pimp it? You know what I'm saying? And make it work for you. You can do that. It can be done. And it can be done through the stock market, and it can be done through cryptocurrency. I talk trash to money all day.
Well, you're definitely right about that. And the reason why I use the casinos as my little analogy is because like I said, I've told people to put money in the stock market, but they don't trust it. Oh, that's a gamble. I said, but you go to the casino. Casinos are set up for you to fail.
Yes.
But the thing about when people make statements like that, they make statements like that but they don't know anything about it.
Yes.
It's a gamble, but you can't tell me one thing about the stock market except you think it's a gamble.
Right.
They
and you can lose money. Yeah.
And I've tried to tell people about to put money, in the stock market for the last 15, 20 years.
Right.
And I'm like, the stock market, I wish it was something, Steve, that we was taught when we were young, when we were teenagers, Steve. If where we come from, if we had been taught this, man, where would we be now?
And that's the thing. We've had that conversation about the school system. Why don't they teach these basic things, these basic necessities for
It's not
kids?
set up to. It's not set up
to.
No,
Definitely
not even just in the hoods. It's not set up to do that. But the fact is, all over this nation, right? The educational system is set up for employees.
Right.
They don't want everybody being owners. They don't want everybody being.
That's not good business.
It's not good business. They need people who are worker bees.
Right.
And then there's people who break out of that worker bee mode.
Right.
And those are more, I would say, people that own labor, conducive businesses. Like you've got the electricians. They might own their business, but they're physical labor. They're actually doing that thing. And then you kind of climb up and you've got the GCs. The GCs are just watching over people. I always bring things back to real estate because when you get your money, the way to not lose it is to put it into an asset and to, in fact, own that asset. A lot of people are also afraid of owning property, but you can purchase.
Give me a second. I'm going to just let my guests in.
Yeah. You can purchase property with crypto now. That happened. I think it started, I want to say just after COVID. So around 2021, it became an actual article where somebody purchased property using their cryptocurrency, using Bitcoin. How are you? And from using Bitcoin, now they said, okay, well, it's valuable enough that the seller accepted the Bitcoin in exchange for their property. Now, what someone should do once you have these millions of dollars is own your asset outright. Most people today don't own anything. They have iPhones and Apple products, own no stock in Apple, and don't even own their products because they're paying monthly for their phones along with their cell phone bill.
Right.
We have to start owning things with the money that we make from our investments and own those things outright. That way it can't be taken away from you.
Right.
Makes sense.
Real quick, do we have somebody on the line? Hello? Oh, guess not. They must have hung up. So, hey, boss, thank you for coming through and breaking down some of that stuff.
Yes,
Definitely
sir.
got to get you back on the show.
I'll be here.
And once again, folks, Escape on the Cape. We're gonna do a financial day party with stocks and cryptocurrency. We're gonna break it all down. And thanks for joining us again. Our next
Absolutely.
guest is here, Dwayne Omarr. Give me 2 minutes. We're gonna get him set up, and we're gonna be right back. And we're gonna talk about his latest projects, all on the Urban Heat, y'all. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right. Trying to see where this echo's coming from real quick. Let me Urban Heat R&B vibes, y'all. Give me 1 second. I don't know why we get that. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Where did that come from? Check. Yeah. All right. Why are we getting that? We didn't have that. Second.
She left the room.
All right, so trying to get rid of this. Yeah, sorry, apologize for the technical difficulties here.
Create a sensual emotional slow jam, like Jodeci's feeling, with smooth man on cars, feeling with smooth man, wrong leaving. You're like a drug, got me hooked so. It's all the way live. feel like a Rari. She feel like Bugatti. Fancy and classy, she calling me baby. But she not my mommy. I'm all in her body, I swear it's amazing. It's more like Ducati, yeah. Look so exotic, it's driving me crazy. Baby, you got me, yeah. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body a trending topic, girl, to me. Yeah, she work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body a trending topic, girl, to me. Trending topic, I search you up, girl, you know I'm watching. I gas you up, girl, there ain't no stopping. Can't pass you up, I know you got options. Trending topic, body look like you been photoshopping. It's me and you, baby, ain't no cropping. Slide to my room, we can get it poppin', yeah. Shawty, I need what you need. Baby, I'm on what you want. So why don't you vibe out with me? Spend the night out with me. Get you out of them jeans while I count up the green. You count it with me. Watch this product and leave. Yeah, she work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body a trending topic, girl, to me. Yeah, she work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body a trending topic, girl, to me. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, they let you down, they left you dry, yeah. So I wet you down until it's light, yeah. Stretch you out, I do it right, yeah. And I bust you down, not talking about icing. Your body, my body, baby, it's getting real. Acting like I'm not the type, now I'm tight, make you spill. Put a smile up on my face, my baby girl, you got that pressure. Grip my hands along your waist, you leaving scratches. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, baby, feel like I can't stop going, it's crazy. I'll do you right, we gon' mess up the bed. Why you giving me? Oh yeah, yeah, you know what I said. Leave a handprint on your legs. Meet me at the spot at 9 o'clock. You tell me yeah. Anything that you don't need, just leave it down the stairs. Asking what I want from you, my baby, be prepared. You telling me don't stop, well I'm still going, I won't dare. Even the neighbors know, put you on the top, and you going crazy. Treat me like a rodeo, baby I want it, tell me you want it. And shawty I'm going in, oh. Girl you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Girl, you don't gotta say too much. You don't gotta say too much. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. She got a diamond smile, but a heart of stone. Always texting, never home. I gave her love, she gave me lies. Caught her running with another guy. She says it's nothing, just a friend, but her stories never seem to end. I'm tired of the game she plays. These girls ain't loyal. No, they'll leave you cold in the afterglow. Sweet as sugar till the truth unfolds. These girls ain't loyal. No. Late night calls, it disappears. Always saying what I wanna hear. Red lipstick on a collarbone. Tell me why I feel so alone. She's a mirage, a perfect disguise. Got me hypnotized with those big brown eyes. But I see through her, yeah. I know the deal. A love like this ain't never real. These girls ain't loyal. No, they'll leave you cold in the afterglow. Sweet as sugar till the truth unfolds. These girls ain't loyal. No. feel like Bugatti. Fancy and classy, she calling me baby, but she not my mommy. I'm all on her body, I swear it's amazing. It's more like Ducati, yeah. Look so exotic, it's driving me crazy. Baby, you got me, yeah. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. Oh, trending topic, I search you up, girl, you know I'm watching. I guess you up, girl, there ain't no stopping. Can't pass you up, I know you got options. Trending topic, body look like you been photoshopping. It's me and you, baby, ain't no cropping. Slide to my room, we can get it poppin', yeah. Shawty, I need what you need. Baby, I'm on what you want. So why don't you vibe out with me? Spend the night out with me. Get you out of them jeans while I count up the green. You count it with me. Watch this product and leave. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. Feel like a Rari, she feel like Bugatti. Fancy and classy, she calling me baby, but she not my mommy. I'm all on her body, I swear it's amazing. It's more like Ducati, yeah. Look so exotic, it's driving me crazy. Baby, you got me, yeah. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. Oh, trending topic, I search you up, girl, you know I'm watching. I guess you up, girl, there ain't no stopping. Can't pass you up, I know you got options. Trending topic, body look like you been photoshopping. It's me and you, baby, ain't no cropping. Slide to my room, we can get it poppin', yeah. Shawty, I need what you need. Baby, I'm on what you want. So why don't you vibe out with me? Spend the night out with me. Get you out of them jeans while I count up the green. You count it with me. Watch this product and leave. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. She work on her body, work on her frame. Baby, exotic, look so insane. So I'm on her body, she on my brain. If you tryna ride it, have me switching lanes. Shawty, pick up the speed, get whatever you need. Shawty, you got it, that body is trending topic, girl, to me. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night. too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, they let you down, they left you dry, yeah. So I wet you down until it's light, yeah. Stretch you out, I do it right, yeah. And I bust you down, not talk about icing. Your body, my body, baby, it's getting real. Acting like I'm not the type, now I'm tight, make you spill. Put a smile up on my face, my baby girl, you got that pressure. Grip my hands along your waist, you leaving scratches. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, baby, feel like I can't stop going, it's crazy. I'll do you right, we gon' mess up the bed. Why you giving me? Yeah, you know what I said. Leave a handprint on your legs. Meet me at the spot at 9 o'clock. You tell me yeah. Anything that you don't need, just leave it down the stairs. Asking what I want from you, my baby, be prepared. You telling me don't stop, well I'm still going, I won't dare. Even the neighbors know, put you on the top and you going crazy. Treat me like a rodeo. Baby, I want it, tell me you want it. And shawty, I'm going in, oh. Girl, you don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Hey, don't say too much, but you know how to get to me. Put your feelings aside, put them legs in the sky. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. Girl, you don't gotta say too much. You don't gotta say too much. I'm trying to give it to you all night long. It's all the way